Today I thought it would be about time for a little bit of a change of pace, and as I mentioned in a recent video, I've wanted to kind of start hunting for the competitions again, especially because of the new trophies, and just kind of because of the competitions that are currently running, I thought Hirschfelden would be a good choice. So there's a goose comp, which we're going to kind of focus on, and then roe deer, red fox, and wild boar for a little bit later. So the way that we're going to do this is we'll probably goose hunt for maybe like an hour, and then we're going to make a bit of a loop. So we'll kind of walk, or maybe even fast travel to here, and then head down and around and eventually get back to this point, because it's going to allow us to basically spot all the geese that will have landed in the field because of the decoys, and maybe get a good sized one just based off that. And I think this will be a pretty decent start. It's always good in my opinion to have a smaller flock at the beginning, just to kind of get warmed up to actually shooting them. The two in the middle look kind of decent to me, although not hitting the bigger one was kind of unfortunate, but we got that. Now, I will say we're not exactly equipped ideally for shooting geese in the distance. Running with the 357 is probably not good, and actually now that I realized it, we only have 2 more rounds in total. We use both of them. Unfortunately, that one's getting away, but we'll have to buy more for when we actually go fox hunting a little bit later. I guess maybe we should grab the 22 pistol just in case a big one comes by, but that's the gun that I want to use when we actually get onto red fox hunting. In the meantime, Rocky has brought us both of our geese. I'm really not even sure. I mean, this one here looks big. We didn't get to spot it. It's not bad. 7.2 is not going to put us anywhere in the top 3. 33rd position for now. And you will notice, by the way, this is a multiplayer game. The competition is only active in multiplayer, and I probably should have looked. I'm not sure if any of the others were single player specific. I'll have to go back and make sure of that, but we'll kind of know for sure before we head out. But as for the geese, we have to be in multiplayer. We just had a pretty good sized flock go over and not break. There's probably more geese in this flock, and I've kind of noticed that when there's 2 large flocks in like your render, a lot of times one won't break, but I hope at least some are going to break off this second one. They aren't seeming too keen on that. I mean, they're well within distance to do so. Hopefully they're going to come down here. They were quite late actually doing it, but we got a pretty good sized break. We'll see if we can manage to actually get all of them. I don't like the way they split, and I'm actually glad that we had the time to reload there. The back one looks decent. We had a really good chance of getting 3 there, just because that one went by us like right... it's this one here. It was like right in front of the shot, but unfortunately we didn't get it. 1 shot from the 22 will take it down though, and at least we'll get to know everything that was here once Rocky brings them back to us. We've not even claimed half of them, and we have a broken flock here, and then another flock coming in, so we're going to make this quick. Or at least attempt to. That was meant to be a double. Well, I guess a triple right after that works too. And because these ones haven't broken yet, they should be able to actually still come in. And there's another flock. It's funny the way this works. We sat here for 20 minutes and basically had just like the 2 flocks, and now they're just all over the place. And once again, it's the second flock that actually broke. I wonder if there's actually something to that. I was kind of just remembering back. We'll see if there's any opportunity for a double in here. There's kind of one in the middle there. We weren't quite able to get it, but we did okay. I don't know. For one, there's one more goose there than I thought there should have been, so I guess one of the shots that we made was not that great. I still think we got probably the best one, so maybe we'll kind of save our ammo. There is serious potential with the way these are trying to land. I'm not sure I've ever killed 4 in 1 shot. That was pretty cool. For the sake of letting Rocky continue to level up, I guess we'll let him actually go and retrieve those, but it would be just as easy to go and claim them all in the same area, but he's slowly but surely getting towards max level, so we'll let him go. So kind of odd circumstances with this one. We had 2 geese that were coming in and actually went ahead and landed, and this other flock broke before we could actually take any shots, so I'm not even sure what's in here. Again, I'm looking at like the back one there. It looks kind of decent size. We'll take that first. If we had 1 more round loaded, I think we could have gotten a double right when they crossed. Still not doing too bad, all things considered. I think that's a little too far out there. We can try to hit it with the 22, but I'm pretty confident that's one of the ones that had landed in the field. Yeah, we got it anyway. But if I'm right, it's not actually that big. I would say this is about perfect. Other than missing that one there. I don't know what it's doing. It's like I was trying to land over there, but Rocky is currently bringing back our 24th goose, and I wanted to have at least 25 before we headed off. One will have gotten away. Again, I don't think any in that flock were big, but that's going to leave us with, I think, 26 total now. So we'll actually go and make that loop that I mentioned. We'll go ahead and grab these two, and I think we probably will leave Rocky in the tent just for the sake of kind of not having anything else to maybe spook a red fox or something that we might call in. The place that we're going to fast travel to first is where we completed a red fox mission that required a good sized one quite some time ago. And the red fox comp actually is for the highest scoring female fox, so it's going to sort of depend, but I think it'll make more red fox potentially interesting, just the fact that females can win us the comp. Well, that's kind of an interesting scene. It looks like our call brought in two different red fox. I'm not actually sure what this one is. The other was a actually pretty similar estimate, but we'll definitely take the cross instead. And I think for this one, a recurve arrow should suffice. I grabbed the carbon recurve today just for a little bit of a change of pace. I was sort of hoping that maybe somehow the other one would stay. Didn't seem all that likely, but that's a decent fox to start with. I was sort of maybe hoping that we could call in a good-sized female for the comp, but we'll certainly take a little bit of an uncommon and kind of decent-sized male. The estimate said 5 to 15, I think. 8.4 kg, so definitely not huge by any stretch of the imagination, but solid score at 18.5. Well, that is pretty cool. It's not going to win us any roe deer competitions, but that is, I'm almost sure, a melanistic roe deer doe. What we're going to do is go ahead and hit her with slugs. Even at that angle, it's going to be fine. It's a pretty small creature to get hit with a slug, but there's no way that any common roe deer female would be that dark, even with the kind of lighting we have going on with the rain starting. I'm quite confident that is a rare, and we've had, actually over the years, a lot of rare roe deer does, but yeah, that is absolutely what we're looking at. Pretty cool find. I'd say of all the rare roe deer we've had, they've been almost all on Falderbois and Hemmeldal. This might be our first on Hirschfelden, and yeah, just the melanistic doe. Of course, we can maybe make use of the trophy shot poses. Not sure what's going to work best. That might actually do pretty decent. Somehow that looks really good. Let's see what we can do with this. So there's this thing that kind of happens where the hitboxes sort of collide, I think, from the character and the animal, and you end up with this sliding, but if we have everything framed right, which right now we do, if we get this lined up and then super quickly take the picture, it still looks like we're actually holding it kind of like by the ear or the back of the head, and that might actually be, of all the rare females we've ever killed, maybe other than our super rare with the two albino red deer hinds, it might be my favorite trophy shot, so I'm not sure we're actually going to taxonomize that. For one, it would be quite costly considering it's a 0 GM reward, but also I don't know what we'd actually do with it. But, I mean, a Hirschfelden rare? I'll certainly take that, maybe even over one of the competition trophies, honestly. What is going on today? Now we have an albino male wild boar. That's something we've never gotten. I've only ever had, it's 2 or 3, but only female albinos. That is something 100%. If we can get that, that's going to go into the trophy lodge. We're wearing field camo. I want to check here. Yeah, we want to be just somewhere right in here. And again, slugs are going to be the way to go forward. That's the coolest thing I've seen all year in the Hunter Classic, and he's got like decent tusks. You can get some seriously tiny male wild boar. He went up to 850. I don't think he's actually too far off that max estimate, and since he's stopping, well, I wanted a brain shot. He kind of moved his head. I think we got a second hit in there. Unfortunately, he is going to run probably pretty far, unless that's a lung shot. Did we get the most absurd penetration luck? We absolutely did, so he's not going to be too far away. Kind of lucked out there. I'm curious where the bullet wound will be, because it might make it look a little bit weird in the trophy shot. I'm glad he didn't get any further into the trees, because we're going to sit and wait for the rain to quit and the sun to come out again. And I think we can probably still manage a pretty good picture, and really, probably better on the level than on the side of the hill. I did see the bullet wound right in the top of his head, but a 760 score, not too bad. We'll kind of see what we can set up as we wait for the sun to come back. Sadly, it seems as though we're just not going to actually be in the sunlight, but even still, that looks really cool, and I like this trophy shop pose. It shows off the tusks quite well, and like I said, that is one that's going into the trophy lodge for sure, and we'll have to go and visit that before we're done. But really, even if we dropped it where we initially shot, I don't think we were getting into the sunlight anyway, so just kind of happened to be where we encountered it. I don't think either of these pheasants is all that special, so we'll probably let them go, but certainly now having 2 rares in one hunt, we're going to be checking absolutely everything, and I've often said, just from kind of past experience, it seems like when there's 1 rare in a hunt, there's another. I'm not sure about a 3rd, but we still have a full field of geese to potentially check here by the end, so you never know. Well, unfortunately, we got pretty close, but they are flying off before we could actually really get to spot everything. That was unfortunately tiny. I'm trying to maybe pick a decent one out. That one up there is kind of okay. I'm pretty sure the 357's allowed, so they were in probably the worst possible place. There's a little bit of a dip, kind of right down in there, and they were all in there where we couldn't spot them from where I had hoped to, basically being across the field and far away from them, and I don't really know if they just decided to flee or if we spooked them. I think, actually, when they spook, they start to, like, have some vocalizations, and I didn't hear any of that, so I'm pretty sure they were just happening to leave the area. I don't know where that actually dropped at. I didn't think it was that far away, but I am at least fairly confident there were no rare geese in there, because I could see all of their heads and necks, and I mean, another 7.1, not too bad, but yeah, it would have been nice to actually get to spot them all and see if there were any potential high-scoring ones, but I think at this point, since we've gotten back here, that is likely to be our last kill, and although we didn't get anywhere near top 3 in any competitions, if entering comps and hunting around for them is going to produce some really cool rares, I think we'll be doing this a lot more in the future. So we have a wild boar to place in our trophy lodge, and fortunately we are able to fast travel and do that right away. Admittedly, it was kind of a tough decision as to what to actually take down for our wild boar, but we had a small piebald whitetail buck here, and since we have the mountain stick on the full body platform, I thought this would actually work, and it's pretty cool, especially from down here. Just the particular pose shows off the tusks really well, and that in so many years, being our first male wild boar, is actually a pretty good one. I mean, a 760 score, like I said, you can get some really tiny males, so I'm actually quite happy with that, and it's a nice little addition to add some variety to our rares room. I don't even know, I think it's just like large species left, like, and really tiny ones, but hopefully we can continue to add to that, maybe as we continue to do competitions, because this particular hunt led to a couple of them. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.